I will yield the balance of my time. Recognize Ranking Member Norton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Pugh, in your testimony, you expressed your strong support for a bipartisan bill that I sponsored with Congressman Ezell, H.R. 8505, the Household Goods Shipping Consumer Protection Act, restores the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's authority to issue civil penalties against bad actors and enhance registration criteria. How would this bill benefit small business truckers and root out fraudulent actors in the freight industry?
Yes, thank you, Ranking Member. Yes, this would be very helpful to our industry. Small business carriers, it's almost at a crisis level now with broker and fraud. And what we can see from this is it would give FMCSA some teeth to go after these bad actors and these fraudsters, because that's one thing that they are lacking. This is the first step to give it. Secondly, motor carriers forever have been required to have a physical address. These fraudsters and these brokers have not been. This will make brokers and these folks have to have a physical address, which every one of my members that I have seen that's gotten hit with one of these fraudsters has been at like a UPS box or some sort of fake mailbox or something like that. We firmly believe that some of this stuff is even coming from other countries across the globe. So, yes, this is a very good bill, and we much appreciate your support in bringing this forward to help our members. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Osborne, far too many people are dying on our roadways. Your testimony highlights that the United States has the worst road safety statistics compared to every other developed nation. How do the regulations governing road design and traffic control limit our ability to build safer and more accessible roads?
I appreciate that question. I will start by stealing from my friend and colleague at Strong Towns, Chuck Marone, who wrote a book I highly recommend called Confessions of a Recovering Engineer, who points out that we try to make our roadways do everything, and therefore they kind of do everything poorly. If we want a roadway to accommodate high-speed travel by vehicles, we need to regulate all points of entrance and exit. We need to clear that roadway of vulnerable users and of development. There shouldn't be crossroads, there shouldn't be parking, there shouldn't be driveways. If we want that roadway to be servicing of local businesses and neighborhoods, there are going to be lots of conflict points, and therefore speeds need to be slow. We try to do a hybrid of the two, where we have high speed and conflict, and that leads to deadly conflict and consequences. We also should set speed limits based on the speed we want to see and design the roadway accordingly, rather than the way we do it now, which is we provide wiggle room so that people, if they do speed, can more safely do so, meaning that if they lose control of their vehicle, that they have wiggle room. That added speed that added space encourages speeding, and then when enough people speed, we raise the speed limit. That is backwards, and while there has been recent flexibility for states and transportation agencies to do something different, there's been no guidance, so you can choose the traditional way where there's a lot of guidance, or you can make things up on your own. That's just not the right way to go about creating safe design. And finally, I'll say we need to reward those that make progress in safety and manage those who are not doing well, set more limitations on how they spend their dollars and make them be more accountable for it. We definitely should not spend $50 billion a year for these bad results.
Ms. Osborne, your testimony also discusses the lack of accountability and transparency in the Federal Highway Program. You note that even non-binding information gathering efforts are fought in the courts and in the Congress. Can you discuss the need for greater accountability and transparency in how states spend taxpayer dollars?
Yes, I will just say quickly that we've done polling that shows a break in people's faith in what the Surface Transportation Program produces, and that's because of past failures and lack of accountability. And if we want to be able to put more money into this program, we're going to have to close that gap.
Gentleman's time's expired. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Stauber.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I wanted to take just a